Hey everyone, this is Marvin from AuthorScale, and today we have the pleasure to speak to Genesis, who made over $10,000 in under a week by using AuthorScale. And she was so kind enough to lend us her time so we can interview her and ask her questions about what she did, what is her secret. And yeah, I'm so thankful that you took the time to speak to us. We'd love to start by knowing a bit more about your author journey. When did you start writing? What genres do you specialize in?
Of course. I've always been writing fiction since I was a kid, and I worked as a freelance writer for the past 22 years. In 2019, I started publishing my fiction, and I write in romance. And so different types of romance. I've done bully romance, I've done Omega verse, I've done dark romance. The book that took off was Omega romance. So when 2019, I started publishing, my books took off a little bit, not a ton. I made like $1,000, $1,500 a month. And then I got busy with client work and didn't keep writing. And so my sales tanked. And recently I started getting back into it and trying to publish more frequently. And then this book, I started using AuthorScale to work on TikTok and just took off. I had a viral video and shot up to 144,000 views. And that translated into sales on Amazon. So it was pretty good.
That's great to hear. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Is the book in KU or are you white?
So it's in KU, and then I just put out a paperback, but the paperback isn't selling yet. So it's all from KU.
Great. And how was the feeling? Like, I think it's the first time in your career where you had such a high week in terms of sale. How did it feel like?
It was unreal. Felt like I just kind of blasted out there, and I was like, wait a minute, people are actually reading my book, and not just a few people, but like thousands of people. And then I started getting comments on the TikToks, and it was amazing. It's a real author boost to see people saying like, "Oh, I cried for your whole book," and or like, "I really loved it. I read it twice in a week," and like some of
Wow.
the comments were just absolutely stunning. It felt great.
Wow. And even some deals coming along your way, right? Podium, I think, reached out to you.
Yeah, actually, today I signed the contract with Podium for the audiobook rights.
So things are definitely moving. And
Yes.
if you look back a month, how is it possible to reach that level in just so little time?
Honestly, it was going through TikTok. I've seen people take off on TikTok before, and like you always see it on the forums and stuff, and people are saying, "Oh, you suddenly went from nothing to huge because of TikTok." But I've been working a lot on TikTok for like the past year, and I hadn't seen very much. I was getting maybe 100 views, 200 views at the most. And so I started doing slideshows because I saw that was a popular thing, but I was doing them on Canva. And so I would take the time to make a background for each slide, and then I would put up the hooks, and I really, really suck at hooks. So I tried using ChatGPT to pull hooks out of my books, but because they're romance, ChatGPT doesn't like them. So it just says this is inappropriate content and such. So when I heard about AuthorScale right back at the beginning when you guys first started out, I thought, well, this sounds like something I could use. So I jumped on, started generating hooks because at that time it wasn't really doing much in the way of slideshows. So I would generate the hooks, put them into my Canva slides, and upload them. So all the Canva videos that I did, they were the slideshows put up for 5 seconds at a time. So it was actually a video, it wasn't a proper
Yep.
slideshow. And so I was getting like maybe 300 views with those. And then once the author scales, I started doing the slides on there, it just kind of went up. So I had like 500 views, and I was going, oh, this is pretty good. And then I started doing one background for all of the slides, and that did better. And then I bumped the number of slides up because with Canva, I was only doing 3 to 5 slides because it
Mhm.
took me so long to do them. And then on AuthorScale, because you can generate the background and you can generate the hooks and stuff, I started doing longer ones. And someone said, oh, you could do like 25, 30. And I thought, try it. So I put up 25 slides, and they started really taking off. And then one morning I wake up and my sales are $100 for the day, which normally I make $200 a month. So I'm going, okay, well, what sparked this? Didn't realize until that night that my TikTok had gone viral. And the next day I was shooting up. I had over $1,000 earned by the time I woke up. So I was going, what on earth? So I look at the TikTok, and it's just gone through the roof, and people loved it. So
Great. That's such a great story. And how many views is the TikTok at not just one viral post?
that one is at 144,000 views. But I've had lots of other ones that have not gone quite as viral, but they've gone up. So I've had like 80,000 views. I've had 20,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a few of them have gone up.
And the month of November, at how much royalties did you close it?
I came in at just over 11,000.
And that's a record month for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even when I had the high books before, I made like 1,000, 1,500.
Yeah.
So this is life changing. This month, I've already made 1,500. Just hit that last night. So I'm probably going to do around 4,000 to 5,000 this month. I do have another book coming out on the 15th, so that will also spike it up. So we'll see.
The thing with virality is that you cannot plan for it, right? You need to post as much as you can, and then you might get lucky, right? Before you said you were doing that with Canva and it was taking you a lot of time. It's also difficult because you have to juggle being a writer and being a marketer. And yeah, I'm curious how you juggled the time back then and how much time you're actually now saving with AuthorScale.
I'm saving several hours because I used to do on Canva, I had two author accounts. So I would do one video for each one per day because it took me almost an hour to do them because I had to generate the background or find a suitable image for each slide because I was doing different backgrounds for each slide. I had to come up with the hooks, which I'm terrible at hooks, so it would take me a long time. And then put it all together and then upload it. I had to put it in my email and send it to myself and then get on my phone and upload it to TikTok, download it, and then upload it to TikTok. So it was taking me a long time to do all that. So with AuthorScale, I do 4 to 6 videos per day on each account. And I mean, it takes me minutes to do them. So I don't spend a lot of time proofreading or anything. I scan them to make sure there's no words that I need to like kill or murder or anything like that that I need to cross out or like adjust. And just to make sure that it doesn't hallucinate, which with version 3, it's not doing that as much. So it's really fast. Yeah, and then I just generate the photos, which is faster also with version 3. And I sometimes adjust the background because right now, for some reason, it's doing a lot of chairs for
Yeah.
me. It's putting up a lot of chairs. So I'll just like put in something like a woman sitting on the chair, a woman on the floor, sitting on the floor, and then just generate it and off we go. Because the settings for the darkness and everything like that work really well for my genre.
Mm.
So off it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been trying the last few days. I've just been publishing straight directly to TikTok without doing anything else. And yeah, it's actually working really well. So
Oh, nice. And what I hear from a lot of authors is that they're trying to find the perfect hook, which I always emphasize that's doesn't exist, right? You're an
yeah.
author, you're great at writing books, but being an author and a great marketer is super difficult. And marketing is not necessarily about perfectionism. It is more about figuring out what the audience triggers, what they like. And you're much more quicker at finding out what that is by just posting as much as you can rather than crafting the perfect post. So rather churn out, 3 good posts per day than one that you consider perfect per week or even per day. So the one that went viral for you, how much of your kind of reviewing went into that?
I scanned it quickly. I deleted one slide because I had 25 slides generated. There was one that didn't quite fit, so I just popped it out of there and posted it. I spent maybe like 10 seconds on it. I didn't spend much time at all.
10 seconds. So the actual title of this video should be How I Made $10,000 in 10 Seconds.
True. Because I don't see the point in spending a lot of time. Like I did that with my book. I put all the time into my book. So when you're on TikTok, most people aren't going to follow you as an author because they're not interested in seeing a bunch of your posts about your books, in my experience.
Mhm.
I do follow people who are authors sometimes. You're not going onto their page and like watching them for entertainment value, right? You just want to see what's new, what's coming out. So the fact of the matter is that if you put out a bunch of videos, they're more likely to show up on more people's pages, for you pages. And so more people are going to see them because it's not that people are coming to your page to look at all your videos and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry if they're not perfect. If they repeat a little bit, you just get them all out there and then more people are going to see them.
Definitely on board with that. I always say your TikTok feed or your Instagram feed is not your art gallery. TikTok is great, or also Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, or all these algorithms that are designed to give you virality and to reward creators. They're designed in a way where they want to maximize the time of the people spending on the platform. And so they will never spam anyone. your video
Yeah.
will go viral and will reach new user. If it's a great video, it will reach new readers. So there is no chance that you will ever spam somebody in TikTok or Instagram or YouTube because it's against the algorithm's goal to keep people on the platform. So if you churn out 3 times a day, rather similar hook, or if you end up posting something again that you posted a month ago, then it's not necessarily bad, right?
Mm.
You have to kind of think more in terms of experimenting rather than building your art gallery in those platforms. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
I've definitely seen it work. So even when I've accidentally posted the same video, like the next day, it gets a ton of views still, and it's new views. So
Yeah, that's great. Any tips and tricks on how you use AuthorScale? You mentioned you did longer slides. So are longer slides now working for you, or what's your take there?
So I was using 10 to 12 slides at first, and that was doing really well for me. I was getting like 500 views. But the one that went viral was when I started doing longer ones for 20 to 25, I'll say, because it varies depending on because sometimes I find like the long ones, they kind of go on a little bit too much, but I've also found out that people like that. So I personally will not sit and like go through 25 slides on TikTok,
Yeah,
but a lot of people do. And they really love it. They seem to go through those. So yeah, the longer the better it seems. And I think TikTok also likes that because people are staying longer. They're
yeah,
looking through the slides and then they also read the comments and the slides are still up. So it gives you more watch time because I noticed my watch time was ridiculously high amounts. Like the first day, I think it was something like 5,000 hours. And I'm like, how how did you get that many hours? But people I think were in the comments because there were so many comments.
that's great. And did you reply to every single comment?
I did.
Were there any haters?
No, I had one person who said that the book wasn't the best that they'd ever read, but they enjoyed it and they finished it. So I'm like, well, that's not really a bad thing. But yeah, everybody else, they seem to love it. One thing is that, for example, if you go on Goodreads, authors get bashed. Like the
Yeah,
reviews are harsh on there. I don't even look
yeah.
on Goodreads anymore. But TikTok, because they're interacting with the author, they tend to be more positive people. And so I think unless they absolutely detest your book, they're not going to put anything negative.
Yeah, great. So you are the living and breathing example that it's actually working, that those platforms on an organic matter can bring you, tens of thousands in royalties. And it's just about finding a system that allows you to churn out a lot of content with as little as time as possible so you can focus on writing, which is kind of the backbone of your career. What would you say to other authors that have maybe given up on TikTok or on those social media platforms? What would you say to them?
I'd say just keep going because honestly, I didn't think TikTok was going to work for me either because I've been doing it for the past year and getting virtually nothing from it. So I would keep stopping, giving up, and then I would notice that my sales did go down a bit. And of course, when you're getting $200 a month, that's you don't want that. So then I would jump back on and get 50 views and another sale. And then until this happened, and now like I was worried that it was just going to be a quick spike and then everything would go back down, but it
Yeah.
hasn't. So I think this is definitely good because what happens is when you do hit that viral spike, and like you said, it's not something that you can predict. So you just have to keep going until you hit it. And then the spike from that brings your book up in the rankings. You get more views, you get more reviews, and that helps Amazon also promote your book more. So it just keeps going. It's like an after effect.
That's great. So what's more to come from your author career? How many pen names are you managing? How many accounts per pen name?
I have two pen names. One of them is not very active because those books take a lot longer to write. But I publish on TikTok 4 times a day on that one. And then I have my other pen name that I went viral with, and I have two TikTok accounts, but one of them I'm not doing a ton on right now. I want to do that one. I want to focus it more on video, but I haven't had a chance to get really into the video on Author Scale yet.
Are you planning to take on more TikTok accounts?
I might in the future. Right now, I think the three that I have will probably be enough. But if I see any dips in sales, I'm definitely going to be jumping on adding more.
And you're doing everything yourself at this point. Do you have a PA that you give work to?
No, it's all me. I probably will have to hire someone soon. Amazon pays out 2 months ahead, right? So
Yeah.
like the money that I made in November will pay out for February. So I'm thinking I probably will hire an assistant at that point just because I'm getting so many messages.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I get agents and publishers and stuff contacting me constantly. So I have to go through all the emails and
Mm.
it's a lot of work.
But it's a luxury problem to have.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope I just witnessed the beginning of a great career. I hope this is going to go somewhere big in the future. And if we speak, let's say in a year from now, that you're going to be at a completely different place where you're going to kind of look back at this time, we're going to say, okay, wow, quite a journey.
I sure hope so. Yeah, from this way it's going, and because I'm going to continue releasing books and continue using TikTok, I don't see how it will go down.
Cool, Genesis. This was such an inspirational call. We're going to definitely post that in the community, and there might be authors that have more questions about some tips and tricks, or maybe something that we didn't cover. Would you be available to answer some of those questions in form of a Q&A in the community?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're adding just more messages to answer to your.
It's all good though, because I found AuthorScale. I've
Yeah,
learned about TikTok and stuff from other authors who have shared their journey. So I think it's really important to give that back and make
yeah.
sure that other people know how to do it too.
I'm so glad that's the way you think. I'm grateful for this conversation. Thank you a lot for being part of it.
Well, thank you for having me.